Welcome to today's Explainer. Okay, we're going to just jump right into it. Today, we're putting a magnifying glass to literally one of the most widely accepted, universally preached pieces of health advice in modern history. You know the one. We are looking at the rule of drinking 8 glasses of water a day. It's treated as undeniably true, practically a health gospel at this point. You'll find it endorsed by doctors, repeated by parents, and hard-coded into nearly every wellness app on your phone. It is the absolute baseline for how we view hydration. But today, we're going to unpack exactly why this rule is actually completely wrong and what the real science of hydration actually looks like.
Drink 8 glasses of water a day. I mean, just think about how deeply ingrained this rule is in our daily lives and our habits. You probably grew up hearing it. Fitness influencers build entire lifestyle brands around carrying those massive water jugs just to hit this exact metric. Maybe you even have one of those smart water bottles that literally beeps at you if you fall behind on your 8 glasses. It feels like common sense, right? It feels like settled science. We just accept it without a second thought because it's repeated so often. But as we're going to see, repetition definitely does not equal scientific truth.
So, before we get into the biological realities here, I want to ask you a direct question. How many scientific studies actually prove the 8-glass rule? Just think about it for a second. With how universally this is prescribed by medical professionals and nutritionists worldwide, you would naturally assume the answer is in the dozens, maybe even the hundreds, right? There just have to be massive, peer-reviewed clinical trials establishing this golden 8x8 rule. Go ahead and take a guess at the number.
0. None. I know, it is a massive cognitive dissonance moment when scientists actually went digging through the medical literature looking for the original study that proves you need to drink 8 distinct glasses of water a day. They found absolutely nothing. There are 0 scientific studies that support the 8 glasses a day rule for the general population. It just doesn't exist. All those glasses lined up on your counter, all of that tracking on your phone, it's based on absolutely no foundational scientific study. So if scientists didn't invent this rule, where on earth did it come from?
Section 1. The 1945 Origin Story. How half a sentence changed history. The 8 glasses rule didn't just appear out of thin air. It was actually the result of a massive, decades-long game of telephone. We really need to go back in the historical timeline to figure out exactly where this fabricated number originated. Back in 1945, the U.S. Food and Nutrition Board released a recommendation. The first half of it read, "A suitable allowance of water for adults is 2.5 liters daily." And by the way, 2.5 liters is roughly equivalent to 8 glasses. But look at the dropped caveat in the second half of that quote. Most of this quantity is contained in prepared foods. Over the decades, people completely forgot, or maybe intentionally deleted, that second sentence. The recommendation explicitly included water derived from the food you eat, not just liquid water poured into a glass. Somebody basically deleted half a sentence, and it stuck around for 80 years.
Section 2. Contextual hydration. Why flat numbers fail. Human biology is incredibly complex, and the fundamental reason why 8 glasses is wrong is because a single flat number makes absolutely no biological sense for the entire global population. We are not robots with identical fluid capacities and identical burn rates. Hydration is this dynamic, shifting requirement that depends entirely on your specific context. Take a marathon runner in Phoenix versus an office worker in Seattle. Think about the drastic differences here. The runner in Phoenix is operating in extreme dry heat, heavily exerting themselves and sweating profusely. Their body size, their activity level, and the climate all demand massive fluid intake. Now contrast that with someone sitting at a desk in an air-conditioned office in rainy Seattle, just looking at a computer screen. These are not the same people, and they absolutely do not have the same biological needs. Prescribing a flat 8 glasses to both of them is, well, it's scientifically absurd.
So the absolutely crucial point here is understanding where our water actually comes from. Remember that dropped sentence from 1945 about prepared foods? You are already getting a massive chunk of your daily water needs simply by eating. Fruits and vegetables are loaded with water. A bowl of soup obviously counts. But even baked goods like bread contain water. And, okay, let's address the elephant in the room. Coffee and tea. You've probably been told forever that caffeine dehydrates you. Well, the science says that is mostly a myth. While caffeine does have a mild diuretic effect, it doesn't just cancel out the fluid you just drank. A cup of coffee is still a net gain for your body's hydration. You do not have to subtract it from your daily total.
Section 3. Why the myth survived. The corporate beneficiaries of 8x8.
So if the science doesn't support a flat 8 glasses, and if we're getting so much hydration from our food and our morning coffee, why are we still obsessing over this? It's pretty fascinating to realize that a scientifically baseless rule managed to survive for 80 years without being critically questioned by the mainstream. And to understand why, we have to look at who actually benefits.
8 glasses is simple, it's memorable, and honestly, it's a highly profitable marketing dream for bottled water labels. Now, hydration really does matter. Let's be clear about that. But the specific arbitrary number of 8 glasses stuck around because it was incredibly easy to market. Bottled water companies and hydration brands deeply loved and perpetuated this simple rule. It gives consumers a measurable daily quota that drives continuous sales. The rule didn't survive because of rigorous science. It survived because it was a perfect, highly profitable marketing slogan.
Section 4. The True Hydration Test. 2 free, science-backed steps.
Now that we know exactly why 8 glasses is wrong, what should we actually be doing? Well, we don't need tracking apps, we don't need expensive gallon jugs, and we certainly don't need to count to 8 every single day. There are really only 2 actionable steps you need to take. Step 1, drink when you feel thirsty. I know, it sounds almost too simple, but your body actually has a highly advanced, evolutionary built-in sensor for fluid balance. It's called thirst. If you are thirsty, your body is literally telling you to drink. If you aren't, you don't need to force water down your throat just to hit some random quota. Step 2, check your urine color. If it is pale yellow, you're good. You are properly hydrated. If it's darker, you just need to drink a bit more water. And that's it. That is the whole science-backed test. 80 years of lining up glasses on the counter, when all we really had to do was listen to our body's natural signals and look at a color gradient.
Which leaves us with this final, somewhat provocative thought to wrap up our explainer today. What health rule have you always secretly doubted? We just broke down decades of pure habit and marketing regarding the 8-glass water myth. It really makes you wonder what other health gospels we blindly follow that might just be half a sentence taken completely out of context. Take this paradigm shift with you, start trusting your body's built-in thirst mechanics, and keep questioning those long-held assumptions. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.